When the FRA requirements will come, for that you have to attach your FR, which should be approved by the iWeb team, and you have to lodge it with the param. So right now we are discussing part A. What part 1 is? Number 1 is that an approved JS exists. For the planned work execution, we have the JS library and we need to check everything that is in our approved JS. After approval, the combined team, which includes operation safety and execution, reviews the FR and approves it. After job execution, the FR becomes part of our library, gets stored and saved. So first, we need to check if there is any existing JS for this activity in any plant or area. If there is, provide the JS number and indicate which activity it was for, covering all conditions related to that activity. You need to select and store the right type of activity here. On number 2, the work activity, the listed JS must match the matter statement activity description for the planned work activity. This means that the work description in your JS or FR should reflect the same things that are in the matter statement. For example, if you need to open a panel, do internal folding, remove actual items, make internal changes, and conduct inspections, then all these things must be mentioned in the main description of your FR or JS for it to be applicable. After that, on number 3, list and identify all the associated hazards with the planned work A and specify appropriate control measures considering location-specific hazards. This is the most important point, whether all work-related hazards have been identified, either in your JS or not. Job specifications can also come into play. For instance, if you are using lifting equipment and using a lifting FR or material shifting, you need to ensure that the zone classification and area classification are mentioned. You cannot use a green zone lifting FR in a red or amber zone. So you need to make sure of these things, all hazards related to your job, any potential hazards, including your area classification, location, or any areas in your sound, should be included. In your FRA, GSA must be mentioned, and the controlling interest should also be mentioned there. After that, it should be approved. Only in this scenario can you use that GSA from the library. After this request, and existing in permit also can be like, if all the requirements are fulfilled, you can request the permit and attach the same. Continuing the assessment, so let's move on to part B. Let's look at the next slides to see what the requirements for part B are. If part B and C is approved, part B involves burning gas, cutting, welding,